So with that being said, we get to go into summary. With summarizing, a lot of times you'll either get, one sentence, or you'll get an entire page that's just copied. And it's very difficult for students to write a summary, especially when they don't understand something. So there are a few strategies we have to help students narrow down the most important information. So we're just going to kind of go through those. The first strategy you see up here is the Essential 7. This is my favorite strategy. So Ms. Sparks actually showed this strategy to me, and when I had my students do it, they absolutely loved it. What happens with the Essential 7 is students will pick out the 7 most important words or phrases. Now, you can do this in a paragraph or a chunk of a text or an entire article. But they're going to pick out the 7 most important words or phrases. I have to go over the fact that a sentence is not a phrase. So they cannot underline an entire sentence. So we are going to just look at how this would work. If you could find the Walden passage, please. They have that one. It was right above the fountainhead. They have it. Okay. So if we were to look at the Walden passage, I need one though. That's okay. I was like, wait a minute, I don't have one. Okay, if you gave students a short passage like this, this would probably be something where you would have them read the entire thing and come up with the 7 most important words or phrases. So we're going to go through this and look at it. In an ancient and dead language, any recognition of living nature attracts us. These are such sentences as were written while grass grew and water ran. It is no small recommendation when a book will stand the test of mere, unobstructed sunshine and daylight. What would we not give for some great poem to read now, which would be in harmony with the scenery? For if men read aright, methinks they would never ready anything but poems. No history nor philosophy can supply their place. I don't know about you, but already I have no idea what I just read. But I'm going to keep going. The wisest definition of poetry, the poet will instantly prove false by setting aside its requisitions. We can therefore publish only our advertisement of it. There is no doubt that the loftiest written wisdom is either rhymed or in some way musically measured, is, in form as well as substance, poetry, and a volume which should contain the condensed wisdom of mankind need not have on rhymeless line. So I just read that. I had to stop halfway because I have no idea what I read. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through here. And what I'm going to do is pick out 7 words or phrases that stand out, that seem important to me. Just FYI, remember a phrase is not a sentence. And this is where it gets fun. Wait, do I have 7 already? Oh no. All right, here is what I do now. I'll just go and throw out there, I model how to do this. So the first time we ever do this, I go through and do it on my own. I show the students what I do. I would have something on the smartboard, and I would go through and do this myself so that they know. Then I would do what we're doing now. Students will start to make this list on their own. Now I'm going to ask them to turn to a partner and compare your 7 words or phrases. Then together, come up with a consensus, one list. And this is where some discussion is going to have to take place. Why is your phrase or word more important than mine? What words or phrases do we have that are similar? So take a minute and just the person next to you, compare your 7 words or phrases and come to a consensus.
I don't know that I have.
Condensed wisdom.
I didn't eat the one yesterday.
Condensed.
Just pour them here, there, it doesn't matter. Come on, I think I can, I think I can. You're not tired.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here are my words.
Stand up and discuss while you're doing this too, if you want to, so you can move a little bit.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you have those
Recognition, what else?
requisitions.
Yeah.
Methinks. Condensed wisdom. Oh, okay. Condensed wisdom.
Condensed wisdom? Which paragraph is that in?
The second to last line. The line above rhymeless.
Gotcha.
And I have unobstructed.
Scenery.
Yep, I had that one also.
You have
Yeah,
unobstructed also?
I added unobstructed from what you said.
And where was
Because I
that?
had 4.
Okay,
You had it.
Okay, I have it.
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, we have the same thing pretty much.
Add rhyme to musically measured. See me
You
again.
have one that I didn't.
Rhyme,
Rhymed. Or
And I had one
or
that you
musically
didn't
measured.
Uh-huh.
Great minds think about it.
that's 5.
It's 5. I had no history nor philosophy.
No history.
All right, so here is the fun thing we're going to do. Are you ready? You can do this a few different ways in your classroom. But what I like to do is have every group come and write their words and phrases on the board. So would one of you from each group come and write your 7 words or phrases? One group on the left, one group on the right.
My penmanship is terrible.
Can I put colon?
That's what I just said to you.
Y'all notice I had not written one time,
You
right?
don't want to.
Not one time. Oh wait, I did. I wrote the good morning and nobody acknowledged it
You did.
Because-
you wrote it on that board.
because it was in cursive and I
And then
did.
2 truths on the right.
Becomes a nightmare tonight.
Yeah, I could just teach Caleb a new song. This works out well. That's
Yeah.
It's gonna be stuck in mind.
Somebody in kindergarten teaching people on that too.
Boy's a genius.
The boy's smart. He's
Yeah.
way too smart for his own good.
2.5 years old and eating bagels, I'm so sad.
Well, he asked for one too. Like he.
I don't think I ate bagels until I was 17 years old.
I added that last one myself. What do you
Oh,
think?
That works. I like that.
yay! All right.
That does summarize all of it. Very nice. Well, I like the 2 different philosophies on how to do this.
They really went with just the words.
Yeah, the words
One
and
word.
it's-
Oh, condensed wisdom, they have one phrase.
Okay.
We have that one too.
Well, here's what I typically do. With student pairs, I'll pick about maybe 2 to 3, depending upon how many times that we've done this, and put them on the board. And then the next thing we do is we look for similarities. So if we look for some similarities, I can't get the cap off. What do we see?
Condensed wisdom's on both lists.
Okay, so we've got condensed wisdom on both of them. What else?
That's about it.
That's pretty much it.
Okay, so we look for similarities. Then the next thing we do is look at some things that we may be able to cross off. Ideas that are similar maybe not necessarily the same word. So do you see anything that's similar at all?
Not really.
We could stretch it technically.
Oh,
Do we have 7 yet? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Just
5,
redundant,
6. Is that 7? 4, 5, 6. So we've got 7 now, correct? All right. So now we've got 7. Recognition, requisitions, condensed wisdom, unobstructed, living nature attracts us, in harmony with the scenery, and rhymed or musically measured. So the next thing I'm going to have you do, and what I'll typically do in the beginning is do this as a partner or in pairs. I want you to write a sentence or 2 or 3 sentences using these words. I know, isn't this fun? I picked a complicated text because y'all are higher level. I'm just going to throw that out there.
not at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon.
She should have.
That's a good
worked out
point.
that Photograph.
That's what I'm letting y'all do it. Technically, you could do it as a table, but let's just do it all together. Let's formulate a sentence. So, which one of these do we see first in the text?
Recognition
of living nature attracts
It's
us.
kind of part of the
It
same.
actually goes together in the
phrase,
same
yeah.
sentence.
Okay.
So recognition of living nature attracts us. But when you, Tiff, when you do this, you have them write it out and add words to it and add,
Connected.
just connect it, or do you have them add to it?
Nothing that is going to come from the text. All we do now is just turn these into sentences. Yes.
Cool.
String them together.
String them together. And that's what I said. It could be one sentence or it could be 2 or 3. Your stronger writers may be able to, incorporate all of this into one grammatically correct sentence. But most people, it'll take 2 or 3.
Okay. Now what are we gonna say?
Would you like to jump in? So far we've got 2. What else can we say? We need to take all these and combine them.
All right, so currently we got recognition of living nature attracts us. So we still have unobstructed, in harmony with scenery, rhymed, or musically measured. So how would we want to add, okay, and condensed wisdom. So how would we want to add, and remember, if you guys already, it's one thing to think that if you've read it and you know what this is saying, you can use that in your head to go ahead and pull your essential 7 out and create your sentence. So, it's not cheating to, think ahead and know stuff. So going further, we have recognition of living nature attracts us. What would we want to add next with what we have left that's not crossed off? And again, we have condensed wisdom in harmony with the scenery and rhymed or musically measured and unobstructed. So how do we want to get the rest of what we want here? What do we want to add?
Like I might put in the beginning, the recognition of nature attracts us. That's how my mind works. I would have to start making a sentence out of it, so
That's good.
that would be like
And
one sentence.
I think the harmony with the scenery comes next.
Yeah, that's,
in harmony with
well,
the scene.
unobstructed actually comes.
Unobstructed.
Unobstructed comes right before that.
What's unobstructed?
Sunshine and daylight.
So what is that?
Nature.
Okay.
So could we add unobstructed to,
Right after here?
The recognition of living unobstructed nature attracts us. Oh, look at that, we're doing so well. All right. That was solely for my benefit, by the way.
That works.
Attracts
so we got
us.
unobstructed, just cross out. And we still have,
Giving us harmony with the scenery.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Hooray.
Give me a jolt of caffeine or something.
There's
Keep
still
the coffee
back there.
coming.
Yes, coffee and regular Coke.
and here's the thing, we're kind of, getting a kick out of this because it is a more difficult text, but just think about students that, everything's Greek to them, so to speak, which is a Caesar reference. But everything's Greek to them, so when they are doing this and they're having their breakthroughs, you can imagine how they feel about it.
Well, then, we're gonna be stuck with requisitions, but rhymed or musically measured condensed wisdom of mankind, sort of.
Wait, we gotta make this a sentence though. It's gotta
I
make
know,
sense.
but
Musically measured condensed wisdom.
So what do we have so far? We've got
I'm saying
the,
we can combine those two phrases and that will,
okay, so we've got the
That could be the end of
recognition.
that sentence.
Random is pretty
Just
much
start
at
another-
the end of the sentence.
We start another sentence,
So
right?
we wanna go to that sentence.
we're gonna go two, yeah, we're
Right,
gonna go two
Latrice, we
sentences.
need another sentence.
Well, yeah, we have.
I'm a big proponent of multiple
Well, in a
sentences.
summary, for sure.
Sometimes if you do a smaller piece, like a paragraph, especially a more basic one, you can do one sentence. That's why I say 1 to 3.
All right, so wrap it up for us
So we're
there,
gonna put the
Charlie.
requisition.
Bring it
Don't
home,
ask me to
Charlie.
do that.
So we've got 2 left.
We've got we got
Requisitions.
requisitions.
Requisition, rhymed or musically measured, and condensed
Right,
wisdom.
yeah, where requisitions is where it gets tricky.
Okay, so we've got the recognition
Through
of
the
living.
requisition of rhymed or musically measured words, we get a condensed wisdom of mankind.
There we go.
Through the requisition of
Condensed.
rhymed or musically measured words, text.
And that's the idea,
Yeah.
even as teachers, and we
We
might feel funny
get
up here, challenge
The
y'all to do it.
condensed wisdom of mankind.
Words, right?
Yes,
Very
yes.
We get condensed wisdom.
That's awesome.
Yes.
You guys did a really good job.
Okay, see, this is the fun part. So you took these paragraphs, and out of that, this is what you got. The recognition of living, unobstructed nature attracts us, giving us harmony with the scenery. Through the requisition of rhymed or musically measured words, we get condensed wisdom.
That's exactly what that passage is saying, pretty much, exactly. That's awesome.
This is why students like this strategy, because they can take something that's really complex, and as long as they know that they can underline 7 words or phrases and then formulate a sentence or a group of sentences, it makes it more understandable.